So we'll go over a little bit of just like what I noticed you working on in the classroom, and you can tell me if there are any particular things that you want to highlight or if you want me to give you suggestions on expanding. With multiple materials, I think that was a really great example, getting to watch the children use the same materials in different ways, having different methods of counting. There were some children who were trying to fill up the tubes and counting inside the tube. There were the moments when you were having the children put the balls or the materials inside of the egg cartons and having them count that way. Having baskets and then estimating how many balls were inside or how many materials were inside each basket. The materials and environment that you provided for those children allowed them to do those things.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to make sure, especially like with the balls and different objects, I wanted to make sure that they had different textures and different sizes to use, so that it wasn't just like one thing and then they do it a few times and they're bored. It's like, no, let's compare them. It's almost full. When I first started working with toddlers in the fall, so it's been, a few months, but it was a challenge because I came from working in an older classroom with 4 and 5-year-olds, and they're at a very different place developmentally in all aspects, especially things with like language and math and symbols, and so that's something that definitely took some adjustment, but I feel like now I've gotten better at being like, okay, it's this child, they can do this, they're still working on this concept.
I was going to talk about the mutual learning piece of it too, and that is a perfect example of mutual learning, right? You watched the children interact with different materials, watched how they reacted to you saying certain words or doing certain actions.
You got a couple more?
And learned whether or not they had those word associations or not yet, and you built up on that.
Yeah, I've kind of like learned that within my first few years of teaching of like, no, you have to be always, like, as the children are paying attention to what you're doing, you have to be paying attention to what they're doing in order to, the next week, do something a little bit more. And then they can build off of that, and you're constantly, like, constructing it.